Hi Virgo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name's Carol, and today I'm going to be doing your February 2024 reading for the first half of February, and then I'll come back in a couple weeks and I'll do the other half. And so I thought I would do 3 parts to this reading today, and the first part's going to be all about looking at where your energy is, Virgo. What situation you're sitting in, where, if you're sitting with a major decision to make, if you're struggling with something, if you don't know what direction to take your life in. This channel is all about healing. We're all on this healing journey, whether you like it or not, or whether you believe it or not. We're all there to get back to who we really are, find out our purpose in life. And so this is what this reading is about for you. And then the second part is I'm going to look at your shadow, and we're going to do some shadow work. And so if you're familiar with that, great. If you're not, I'll provide a video right here in the description box. And this video is called my 4-step guide to shadow work that I've taken from my other channel called Carol Cares. And in that video, I help you understand what shadow work is. I help you understand what it means to look at your shadow and heal what's in your shadow. And I offer you some suggestions for videos to watch. I teach you how to journal. I show you how to, videos to ground yourself. And so it's an excellent video if you have some time to look at it. It really will help you out a lot. And then the third thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for some guidance from the tarot to see where you can go next, what direction you need to go in as far as the situation that you're finding yourself in right now, and how that relates to your shadow, what you need to do to heal, what's coming up for you right now. And so I'm going to be selecting 3 cards for the 3 sections from the Light Seer's tarot deck. I'm going to clarify those 3 cards with the Rider-Waite, and then I'm going to pick an oracle card at the end from the Sacred Creators Oracle, and that will kind of solidify everything I've been talking about. And then I'm also going to give you some advice from me, and I've been on my own healing journey, intensive healing for the last 7 years of my life, healing my own complex trauma. Though I've kind of been in and out of therapy all my life, but doing some really intensive healing. And so I'm going to offer you a few suggestions, some videos that I'm going to take off of Carol Cares, just to set you on the right path. Yeah, and I think that's about it. So we're going to get started. Now, before I start pulling out cards, I want to look at an overriding theme for you in the month of February. So in January of 2024, I put out yearly readings for all my signs, and it looks like this. This is your reading right here. And so in that reading, Virgo, I pulled out 12 cards for you for 12 months of the year. And in this reading, because it's February, I've pulled out your February card for you. And you got in that reading the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And so let's look at that. Pentacles is all about your workplace, what you commit a lot of your time and commitment to, your health, your self-worth, getting in touch with your inner guidance, grounding. That's the Pentacles. And in this particular instance, you have these 3 individuals that look like they're collaborating because they're working on some sort of plan or situation for the building that they're in right now. But it's in reverse. And so I see that there's an opportunity for you, or maybe you've been thinking about collaborating with someone or people. Now, this can be interpreted in 2 different ways. It can mean that you're wanting to start a project of some sort or do something different in your life, and you're thinking about, asking people to come on with you, thinking about collaborating with someone else. It could mean that because the Pentacles is about your workplace. Now, it's related to your self-worth. Pentacles are related to all about your body, your self-worth, your image, how you feel about yourself. And it's in reverse here. And so I see the collaboration aspect of that could be, maybe you're thinking about you want to get some help. Maybe you're thinking, you know, you're on this healing journey. You're thinking to go back into therapy. And to me, the collaboration card can mean that, where you're thinking about, you know, maybe I need to get into some therapy again. And, or just start to have therapy. Maybe you've never done it before. And you're thinking about it. But there's a real resistance here to doing however this card relates to you, whether it's the workplace, whether it's going back into therapy or getting some therapy. There's some resistance to doing that. I know for myself, I would go through, if this is for therapy for you, I would go in and out of therapy all my life. And, you know, and there's times when like I've had enough. I'm done with therapy. I don't want any more. And yeah, so, and then just 7 years ago, I happened to decide I was going to go back into therapy again after a major foot operation. And I thought, well, you know, I feel like I need to go into therapy. And that's when I found my life coach while I was recovering from my foot. And I've had her since for 7 years, and we've been doing some really intensive therapy and still am. So, yeah, so this will be clarified during this reading right now that I'm giving you. So I'm gonna ask the tarot right now to give me a card for your situation, what you're sitting in right now, Virgo. And we'll ask first for one card, and I'll only take one card for the top of each section. If more come out, I'll just put them back in. That one almost came out, but we'll see. One card, please, for Virgo for the situation. The Page of Pentacles is a situation that you're in right now. Whatever you're sitting in right now. So Page of Pentacles. Your one card, please, for Virgo shadow. Shadow, what's coming up in the shadow that's related to maybe the Page of Pentacles here. One card, please, for the shadow, for Virgo shadow. And you got the Seven of Swords. And one card, please, for direction from the tarot. Direction from the tarot. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so let's look at these three. We're going to clarify these three right now with the Rider-Waite. So let's give those a quick shuffle. Three cards to clarify the Page of Pentacles, please. The Ten of Cups in reverse. The Five of Pentacles in reverse. One more card, please. They gave me four. That's too many. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh. One more card, please. And the King of Pentacles in reverse. So three cards in reverse here. Interesting. Okay, so Seven of Swords, clarification. Three cards, please. You have the Queen of Wands. Two more cards. Two more cards. There's one that flipped up. Oh, you have the Star. And one more. You have the Seven of Swords. This time in reverse. It comes up. And you have the Ace of Pentacles. I think Yeah, I won't pick that one because it didn't fall out. So, okay, Three of Pentacles. Ooh, okay, these two came up. So you have the Death card, and then you have the Queen of Cups. One more, please. Oh, that messy. Put that kind of all messy, so try that again. One more, please, for the Three of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so let's put these so that you can see them. Oops. Knock my cardinal off its pedestal. And here we go. Seven of Swords and one more right here. Okay, I think you can see these. Good. All right. So let's start off with where you are right now. So like the Three of Pentacles, we already talked about that a bit at the beginning. Whether or not, you want to go back into therapy or not, some resistance to working with somebody on a project. It could be that too. I'm not sure where that could go. So we'll look at where you are right now. So you have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, this is a situation you're sitting here in right now. The Page of Pentacles is a younger part of you. In my own healing journey, in my own healing therapy, I do parts therapy. So you may or may not have heard about that. And so I've been able to apply some of my own parts to my readings. And we all have parts. I mean, if you think about it, there's a part of you that feels like you want to do this and a part of you that prevents you from doing that. And so there's different parts in us. And this is a really young part of us. You've probably heard of inner children. So the pages are the inner children. And the Page of Pentacles in particular, the pentacle is the body. And if you think about a young child is someone that's very much in their body. They're not at the point yet where they're beginning to, and some of them have been, where people are telling them who they are, what they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do, right? And they're very much in their body. They just, they're into playing and just being themselves, and they're very intuitive also, right? So the pentacle is about the body being very grounded. So I see you as, right now you're in a situation where you're needing to be grounded. And in order to, there's a part of you, an inner child part of you, that probably is wanting to come up, but you need to get grounded right now for some particular reason. So let's see, because you're in a situation where you're dealing with a lot of emotions, right? So emotions are supposed to flow in us, and they're supposed to flow out of us. They're not supposed to get stuck, and we're supposed to feel all our emotions. This is the rainbow, the number 10 of emotions. And I'm seeing here that you're not feeling all the 10 of the emotions. They're not flowing like they should be. And that is why there's a call right here for you to get back into your body, so that you're able to, in a grounded position, start to feel these emotions that I think you're sitting with, a lot of stirred up emotions right now for some reason. And it makes sense if you're sitting with the Three of Pentacles and you're wondering, what to do. There's a resistance to it. There's a lot of emotions. You're dealing with a lot of emotions right now that need to get grounded. And need to be felt. And in particular, one of the emotions that's really coming up, and there's a lot of denial around it, not a resistance to feeling this, is because it's in reverse, is the Five of Pentacles. And like I said before, Pentacles is all about the body. It's our self-worth also. It's about the body and how we feel about our body, how we feel about ourselves. And so I'm seeing that you're sitting with, this is also my shame card, right? You have these two individuals that are, cladly dressed. They're not dressed for the weather here. And they're walking outside of the church when they could go in and could get warm, but they don't feel worthy enough to go get help. I'm going to say that again. They don't feel worthy enough to get help. And they're resisting getting help. And if this has everything to do with you not wanting to get help so that you can feel your range of emotions again, that makes a lot of sense that you've had that Three of Pentacles in the beginning. And the King of Pentacles comes up in reverse. And the King is the masculine part of us. We all have a masculine part of us, and we have a feminine side to us. It doesn't matter what gender you are. We all have it. Every single person on this planet has those two sides. Unfortunately, the male aspect, the masculine part of us really dominates us. The ego really dominates us. And in particular, the Pentacles, which is in reverse here, very ungrounded King here. The King, very grounded, would know how important it is to ground, how important it is to get back into your body so you can feel. The King of Pentacles would know that. He's very earthly. His gown is becoming part of the ground. He's so grounded, right? But he's in reverse. And let me tell you about what the male part of us would say in response to feeling. Or getting back in your body. Getting back in your body is the feminine part of us. She's the queen. The male part of us would say, no, we're not going to get in touch with our feelings. It's not a good thing to get in touch with our feelings. Feelings are dangerous. And, it's a lot of bullshit to say that, to ground. What's grounding? What does that mean, to ground your body? Because this is what is needing to take place right here. This is you're sitting in a position right now where, you're needing to ground, you're needing to feel, you're needing to get back into your body. You need to be able to feel these emotions that there's a huge resistance to feeling all your emotions, right? I think there are some people in this world that just feel one emotion, and it's anger. Because that's a cover-up for all those other emotions that we just don't want to get to. So this is where you're sitting right now. The Seven of Swords comes up as the overriding card for your shadow, right? And the shadow is all those things that we've been told about ourselves, all those belief systems that people handed down to us. And the swords is the belief systems. The swords are these mental thoughts that we have about ourselves. The universe, not the universe, people around us. Adults, people we've been raised by, adults, parents. They've told us certain things about ourselves and their belief systems. And this is called the Thief's card. It's like he's run away with these swords, these belief systems that people have told him or her. And he's adopted them. And they've made it their own when it's not them. These feelings that we have about ourselves, these belief systems we have about ourselves, they're sitting in our shadow. We've repressed them because people told that to us when we were younger, right? This younger part of us were told these things. This little Page of Pentacles over here was told these things. And so if they're emotions like shame right here, if people shamed us, well, we're going to take that and we're going to put it in our shadow. Because they're the ugly parts of us that we don't want people to know. If somebody told us something bad about ourselves when we were younger, well, what do you do with it? I don't know what to do with that. So I took it and I put it away and I shoved it down so that I don't want to see it again. And I'm going to put this mask on and I'm going to walk around and pretend that I don't have that belief system about myself. Somebody told me that. And I'm going to pretend I don't have it. And so I put this mask on and put this happy face and walk around and told to be positive and smile and whatever when I'm feeling like crap about myself. I don't know why I went on that rant, but this is what it sounds like it is for you, where you've got these belief systems in your shadow that you need to look at and to uncover and to figure out, why do I feel this about me? What is it about me? Why do I feel this? Like, where do these belief systems come from? That's what shadow work is all about, because you need to get to the original source of it. And to get to the original source means there's probably some grieving and some anger that needs to take place, because people told you that about yourself when you were little. You believed it. So the Queen of Wands comes up here for our first card in the shadow, and she's the feminine part of us that I talked about earlier when I talked about the king. She's the queen. She's the Queen of Wands. And Wands is all about taking our life in a new direction. The queen loves to get into her body. Wands is about getting in touch with where we want to go in our life and getting in touch with our intuition, right? Because when we get in touch with our intuition, that's our inner guidance. And that's what's going to tell us where we need to go. And so it's coming in our shadow because the queen, the unconscious part of us that holds our belief systems about ourselves, which is our shadow, in our shadow, that's where all our truth lies, where it all begins. And just going to put this volume down for a second, because I have something that's, there we go. Okay, coming up on my computer that I don't want it to. So the next card that comes up is the Star. And the Star card is an absolutely beautiful card. If you notice, the individual in this star has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. Because when we ground ourselves, when we put ourselves on land, we are grounding ourselves. And then the water is the emotions, right? If we dip into that water, we dip in and we start to feel some of those emotions. We don't have to dive into the water. We don't have to, put our entire selves in there. We always dip into our emotions a little bit, but we're just going to feel it. We're going to keep our foot grounded here on this earth. The Star card is a healing card. The Star card comes after the Tower card in the major arcana. And the Tower card are those major universal forces that come about in our life, where just they're baseball bats from the universe is what they are. And so in your shadow is sitting the Star card. And the Star card is all about healing. There are some things in your shadow that need to be healed. There are some belief systems in your shadow that need to be healed. Because these belief systems are not yours. They don't belong to you. They belong to someone else. Someone else told you. Someone else gave you this shame over here. Right? I call shame shitty. It starts with SH. Someone else shamed on you. We're not born with shame. We're given it by someone else that has shame. And so the next card is, again, the belief systems here. Now, this is the other 7. So this is your overriding 7 of Swords in this one, and the Light Seer's deck. And this is the other one that's in reverse. It's come in reverse, okay? So, interestingly enough, this one, if you take a peek at it, he's the thief, and he's running away with all these belief systems. He's holding it by the edges, by the points, right? Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. You're not aware of how dangerous these belief systems are. You're not aware of how they have been running your life. You're not aware of the mask that you have put on and walked around with it, with these belief systems that are sitting in your shadow that don't belong. Maybe you're aware of the belief systems you have about yourself, but you're not aware how dangerous they are, and that they don't belong to you. When you were a child and an adolescent, You adopted these. If you want, this is a thief card. You stole them. You inherited them. You had no choice but to, right? When people, and we put them away. And so there's a lot of healing that has to be done around these belief systems that you have about yourself. And so the Three of Pentacles comes up and it's very interesting. The Three of Pentacles is your guidance from the tarot, and that was also your overriding card for February for you. And so Virgo, I'm seeing this is coming up again. I'm seeing that, you know, I'm seeing this as not so much something to do with the workplace like I had mentioned, but I'm seeing this as maybe your feeling that you might want to go back into therapy. You want to work with someone to help you with these belief systems that you have about yourself that aren't true. And it's so hard to shake these, right? There's this thing out there that says, oh, just think positive. You know, all that Hallmark bullshit that says think positive and write positive statements in your journal and things like that. Well, you know what? That's never worked for me. And I've had a lot of belief systems that I was told about myself, a lot of memories and a lot of trauma that I've had to work through. And I'm not saying you do, but what I'm saying is when you have things and when you have emotions to work through, and we all do, we all have belief systems about ourselves that are not true, that are just not true. And in order to kind of unravel them and figure out what's what, and we do need some help sometimes to figure that out. And that's what this card is about, them all helping each other to get this project done. But it's in reverse again, because I see that there's some resistance to getting some help for yourself for whatever reason. If there's that fear, so a lot of times it's just this fear of thinking, oh my God, I gotta go into therapy. Maybe you've never done it before and you're like, I don't know where to start. I don't have the money. And believe it or not, our masculine part of us over here, that's Mr. Pentacle over here, the King of Pentacles, he'll tell you that. He'll say, not too much money. No, it's too much money. I don't even want to tell you how much I've spent on my own intensive therapy for the last 7 years. But it's given me so much freedom. And in my life, I knew that there was a certain amount of money that was dedicated to my therapy every month because I needed it. I finally realized that I need this. And this is putting yourself first and saying, I need this. And there is going to be a part of you that's going to say, no, too much money. I mean, if what I do for you and what I offer you is enough for therapy, then, you know, good. But some of us need another person to help me with my situation. And whether that is the decision to go back into therapy, maybe you've been doing it before, but there is some resistance here to, I can't remember if that was in reverse or not. I think it was. There's some resistance here to going back into therapy or starting therapy for you. And that could be because of, like I said, the messages that you've been told. But there is a need for it. There is a need for healing. It's in your shadow. There's a need to heal your shadow. And, you know, there's this death card that comes out right now in your healing journey. And a lot of people get scared of this death card. And for you, it's, I really like the meaning that I'm picking up right now for you. When we're on this journey, when we're on our own healing journey, we find that we start to change. And once we start to change and start to see things differently about ourselves, you know, we get that hangman perspective where we can just start to see our life in a different direction. And we realize that there are people that along the way that we're going to lose and things that we have to give up. And sometimes it's just ways of thinking that have to die. And I'm seeing that for you. I'm seeing that whole idea of this King of Pentacles over here that's saying, you know, our emotions, feeling our emotions and getting back into our body is bullshit. Therapy's too much money. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get in touch with my emotions anymore. I'm scared. We don't want to admit it, but that's what it is. There's a lot of fear. It's just fear to open up that Pandora's box again, right? And let some of those emotions out again. Well, that has to die. The guidance from the tarot was saying that has to die. That whole, and maybe these belief systems, maybe it's saying, these belief systems that we ran away with, that we've adopted when we were younger, that are sitting in our shadow, that has to die as well. Those aren't your belief systems. Somebody gave those to you. You have your own belief systems about you. You just don't know it yet. And so all of that has to die. All those belief systems, those old belief systems that you have about yourself. The thing about not getting back into therapy, if that's the situation you're in, it's time. It's time to feel again. It's time to start feeling. That whole thing about I don't want to feel, I'm too scared. It's time. Because the Queen of Cups, I know it's time. Because the Queen of Cups is coming up here. The Queen is that feminine part of us, right? Here's the masculine part of us, the Knight, the King. And then we got the Queen. Queen loves the body. And the Queen of Cups is all about emotions. She's all about getting back into her body. She's all about getting still. She's all about feeling. You see how around her feet, how there's water flowing, right? Emotions are supposed to flow in and flow out of us. And she's all about, the tarot wants you to take on the quality of the feminine side of us that feels again, that feels every single emotion that comes into their body. Because when you were a little child, when you were this little page over here of Pentacles, you were in your body and you felt everything. But somebody scared you, somebody told you things, and you shoved it all back down. You shoved it back into your shadow. And it's time to take it out again. It's time to feel again. And now you have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles shows up for you. And this is where you've put a lot of time and commitment and energy into something. And you look at it and you go, is this it? Is this everything? And I'm going to say that there's so much more out there for you. This is not everything. And sometimes when we look back, sometimes in our life, and we think we live with a lot of regrets and a lot of shame, and it doesn't matter what age you are. I don't know how old you are listening to this, but this is the regrets, right? This is the regrets of the life that maybe you've lived. And some of us think, well, why bother? Why bother even going back to therapy? I'm too old for that. I've lived too, I've already done this much or whatever. And it's like, there's so much more. There's so much more, right, than all of this that you see right here. And so what a beautiful reading for you, just about getting back into your body. So I'm going to recommend, it sounds like, you're needing help with your emotions, but you're really needing some help in getting back in your body. So I'm going to recommend a playlist on grounding. Really important to learn how to ground so that you can get back into your body. And that's when things are going to start to come up, when you start to ground, right? And so I'm going to leave you with a Sacred Creators Oracle card that hopefully will fly out. They're having a little bit of trouble doing that lately. If not, I'll just pick one. Oh, here one. Ah, nice. Okay, so let's see what we have for you. The last card here for you. Wow. Okay. I like it. I like the title. It's very apropos. It's called... I always go to the page and it's not the page number. It's the number of the card. Okay. It's called Cozy Up with Risk. Risk. Yes, cozy up with it. Risk is inevitable when you are pursuing your dream. So go on, cozy up and get to know each other. Risk is a little bit like a campfire. Both need to be watched and tended carefully. Neither should be feared. And respect and responsibility are part of the deal. And just as a campfire can be a magical catalyst for 100 wonderful stories, risk can be the catalyst for 100 realized dreams. I did say that there was so much more out there, right? Encountering risk means you are aware, pushing boundaries and innovating, and you are bravely trying new things, testing ideas, and living. Trust that your reward will be waiting for you when you take your leap of faith, and that you'll find your soft landing in love, in your investments, or in your creations. This is a catalyst for something better. You are working hard towards an extraordinary life, and the only way to arrive passes right by the warm, inevitable glow of the unknown. Take that risk. If it means you're going to ask someone for help, take that risk, because there's so much more out there for you. Take care, Virgo. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.